Hey everybody, Greg Pruitt here with the Idaho Dispatch, and I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. It is September 27th, 2021, and we're coming to you kind of with an urgent / important message, whatever you want to call it. First, be sure to let me know in the comments if you guys can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up or let me know. But wanted to kind of briefly talk to you guys about something. There's a lot going on in the state right now. We have a ton of stories that are happening, people running for office, people, all over the state sending us messages. I mean, we have a ton of messages and comments, emails. We have all sorts of information flowing into the Idaho Dispatch, and there's a lot to cover. Okay, in the political realm, there's a lot to cover. And I think what is happening right now is you guys understand how important it is to have the Idaho Dispatch to relay messages without all the bias and without the agenda that you're getting from the mainstream media. And so we've got gubernatorial information that's always coming out about gubernatorial candidates running, stuff with Governor Little, stuff with the president coming in. We have so much information that is coming in, and I don't know that most of you understand how this whole operation is running right now. And I kind of pulled off to the side of the road because we're losing daylight here, but just all of this on a very personal level for you guys. I'm trying to get out as much information as I can for you. Now, I write all of the Idaho Dispatch's news articles, while we do have people that submit op-eds, okay? Please understand that op-eds are completely biased and all that kind of stuff, and we do post those as people submit them, clearing, making sure that they're they're okay and whatnot. But all the actual news articles are written by me. And right now, there's just too much information coming in for me to keep up. And it definitely gets to the point where I get exhausted. I was working on that interview with those two nurses for quite a while, getting that set up. I literally dropped everything I was doing, drove all the way to Boise from down here in southeastern Idaho, drove all the way to Boise to try and do that interview because they had some time available, and then drove all the way back and then worked on the video editing. I do all the video editing, all that kind of stuff. And so we have so many stories that are coming in from you guys and from other people with, regarding political events or whatever in Idaho. And it's just too much to keep up on for me. And you'll notice about 2 days after that nurse story came out, I just wasn't able to get anything posted. I have another actual job that I do, and on this project that we're working on, I haven't paid myself at all. I'm not opposed to that. I'm a capitalist. When push comes to shove. But the bottom line is, the only way in the long run the Idaho Dispatch is ever going to continue is if we create it as a media platform that you support. Okay? Otherwise, I can't do it forever like this. I get burned out. I will get burned out. And at some point I may be like, you know what? Not enough people care. Not enough people care to keep this thing going for me to keep doing it on top of the other jobs I have, the other projects that I have going on, and all of the family stuff that is happening. And somebody said it's okay to take a break and relax. That's kind of what happened for a couple days. But the bottom line is, in the world of politics, that's really bad. And, there's just too much going on. It's nonstop. And so, look, at the end of the day, yes, I can take a break from everything that's happening politically in the state, but we have to grow the Idaho Dispatch. And, we certainly love to have more advertisers. Advertisers certainly make that job a lot easier for me to be able to hire. I would love to be able to have, 4 or 5 people across the state who I can pay a little bit of money even to go conduct an interview for me, to go and cover an event, a live event. I think there's several events happening up in Lewiston, a big protest in Lewiston. I can't just drop everything I'm doing and go up to Lewiston. And so we need you guys to support the Idaho Dispatch monetarily. I'm just going to be honest with you. We have to have, so somebody asked, how do we get it to the point where it's full time? I mean, whether it's me or I am just an editor and we pay a couple of journalists, to help out with stories, whatever. I mean, we're talking several $1,000s a month, right? $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 a month to kind of get a team together to keep this thing going long term. If you guys like what you're doing, then we charge as little as $3 a month. And I have marketing people trying to push me towards a paywall, and I don't want to do a paywall. Okay? Paywall means unless you're paying, you don't get to read it. And if you noticed, almost all media outlets now have gone to a paywall because their subscribers are tanking. Well, if this is the product that you like, then we have to continue it to grow. So if it's worth $3 a month, there's other options that are more. And those other options, we're trying to include some additional stuff for those people. Then $3 a month is all that we're asking. Okay. That's all that we're asking is $3 a month. If we had 1,000, so right now we have 150 subscribers, somewhere in that range, 150, 160. If we had 1,000, that would help create a cushion to where we could get some part-time help or something to keep this thing going. And yes, we can get advertisers. We can market and get some additional advertisers, guys. But I'm just telling you right now, at some point, my wife may kill me for all the work that this takes. But it's so important. It is so important that we continue to try and give Idahoans news that is not just full of bias, that is not full of an agenda. How many other mainstream media outlets do you know that have interviewed nurses who have left because of some other issues happening within the medical industry? And whether you believe those people or not, that's not the point. The point is both sides of any issue should have an opportunity to speak. You guys deserve to hear the information from any side of an issue. And right now, the mainstream media will not give you that. Okay, they are going to suppress information deliberately. I've even had people commenting on Idaho Dispatch in the last couple days. Why are you posting so many press releases from Ed Humphreys? Okay, I don't work for Ed Humphreys' campaign. I'm not going to tell you who I support or don't support for any gubernatorial position or otherwise. Okay, Ed Humphreys' campaign sends in press releases pretty frequently, and we try to give you guys that information. If other candidates don't give us the information, we can't do anything. How many other media outlets do you know that interview as many candidates as possible, no matter how big of an opportunity they have to win or not? Whether they're Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Constitution Party, Independent, we try to interview everybody that we possibly can. We interviewed Brock Pierce, who's an independent billionaire, for president last year when he came into town. I mean, we are trying to just give you guys the information and let you decide what you are going to do. And so, again, we're asking you, sign up and subscribe. It's in the description. Sign up and subscribe to the Idaho Dispatch. Okay, it's $3 a month. I hope that that's worth it. Right now we only have PayPal. I'm working on getting Stripe for those that don't want to do PayPal. You can send in a check if you want. You can do a one-time donation. If you don't want to do anything that's recurring a month, you can certainly send in a one-time donation using that same link. But we're asking for you guys to not only get yourselves subscribed to the Idaho Dispatch, but then go out and find some other people. Say, hey, here's the Idaho Dispatch. It's a great outlet, and you need to get signed up to support it. Because I see so many people hating on the mainstream media, which is fine. But the only way that you change things is by supporting the people trying to make those changes. And that may come across as selfish on my part. But guys, I wish you could see how many people I talk to behind the scenes that I'm like, look, it's not a money thing for me. I ended up starting this because I was on the end of media outlets ignoring the work that I was doing outside of the Idaho Dispatch, deliberately ignoring what we were doing. And I got tired of it. I would see stories of the mainstream media targeting somebody in the political realm, and then that person never getting a fair shake to defend themselves, or to tell their side of the story, I should say. And so that's why I started the Idaho Dispatch. I got so sick and tired of it, and it's been an incredible outlet. I hope you guys appreciate everything that we have tried to do with the Idaho Dispatch and creating an avenue for Idahoans to get information without all the bias. I'm not saying I'm perfect. But if you read our articles, I do everything possible to make sure I am not leading anybody and that I'm not, pushing an agenda. We try to cover every news story, regardless of whether it's pro-conservative or anti-conservative or pro-liberal or anti-liberal, anything like that. We just try to cover any major political news story that we possibly can. But there's a lot happening right now. You should see how many messages I've gotten in the last 3 or 4 or 5 days. How come you're not covering this? And how come you're not covering this? Well, at the end of the day, I have a lot of other stuff that I'm doing. And sure, if I was, if this was a full-time job, it'd have to, generate enough revenue to make that happen. And right now it's not. And that's okay. We understand it's a new organization and we're trying to do everything we can for you guys. So anyway, all that to be said, I really appreciate everybody that tunes in. I appreciate all of you who are subscribers or people who interact with the page. We sincerely appreciate all of you guys. I really appreciate all the prayers. Anybody who prays and is praying for the Idaho Dispatch and for me in particular to keep all the strength that I need to do this kind of stuff, I really, really appreciate it. Now, somebody said, are you only on Facebook or is there another way to watch? Typically when I go live, it's usually on Facebook, and then we'll post it on YouTube and on Rumble. So those are the 3 platforms. And then we're on MeWe and on Twitter, if you're on Twitter. So we're on a number of different platforms. So anyway, thank you guys again for all that you do, and keep sending in those tips. We're doing everything we can to cover them as quickly as we can. You'll notice some days we're a couple of days behind getting the story out, but we try to get it out as quickly as we can. And also at the same time being fair and trying to reach out to both sides before we, publish a lot of these stories. So take care, guys. I appreciate everything, and we'll talk to you soon.